You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
U.S. Cellular has noticed the way we use our phones has gotten ironic. We try to put our phones down for dinner, but the menu's on a QR code. That's ironic. We hit like on social posts that we don't actually like, which is ironic. Which is why U.S. Cellular created Us Mode, to help us reconnect with each other and use our phones less ironically. A phone company wanting people to use their phones less is ironic. Let's find us again with Us Mode from U.S. Cellular. Visit uscellular.com/builtforus to get started.
Over 25 years ago, on September 29th, 1998, we watched a brainy girl with curly hair drop everything to follow a guy she only kind of knew all the way to college. And so began Felicity. My name is Juliette Littman, and I'm a Felicity superfan. Join me, Amanda Foreman, who you may know better as Megan, the roommate, and Greg Grunberg, who you may also know as Sean Blunberg, as the three of us revisit our favorite moments from the show and talk to the people who helped shape it. Listen to Dear Felicity on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident fanalist, as always, Ryan Schlip. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_data. So here's the deal. We're going to do Packernet After Dark, and the only reason is because I'm planning on, obviously what I'd like to talk about is Packers Family Night, what happened, all that stuff. That would require me, however, to stay up after and record, which is possible. But I just, I don't want to give myself a reason to not have something. We can talk about Packers Family Night. We're going to. Like I said, there's multiple days off now. So we're going to go in that direction. Also, yesterday, I had a plan. Actually, the podcast is half recorded. I just ended up hating the content. I tried to aggregate all the news, which I have, which is great. All the notes from all the training camp, and make it into some kind of interesting content. And for some reason, as I was going through it, I just hated it. And so I didn't do it. And to make sure that we have some kind of content, we're going to do Packernet After Dark. But here's what also we're going to do. I think we're going to start going in reverse for a little while, just so that we're a little bit more up to date. And then if we start to run out, then we'll get to some of these. Because, we're not even to Jordan got his contract yet. So we might end up skipping a bunch, and if so, I'm sorry. And like I said, like I always say, if you called in and there was something you were on a heater you wanted to talk about, just call back in, or just reach out and just say, hey, go find my call because I want you to play it or something. So that's the way we're going to do it, because we haven't been up to date in like over a month, and so we gotta get her rocking here. So with that bearing in mind, let's go ahead and get started with Uncle Rico. This is only 7 seconds long, so this might not be actually anything.
Ryan Schlip!
I mean, yeah. That's how you'd have to do it, I guess. That's how you'd have to do it.
Oh, there's so much to talk about now these days, Ryan. So much to talk about. But I just wanted to hit on some of your talking points from the past few podcasts. Number one, real quick, alternate uniforms. So I had submitted years back to the Packers about some ideas for alternative uniforms regarding throwbacks and stuff like that. And one of my ideas was to go back and use the 50s uniforms that were a solid green with yellow letters and yellow stripes.
Okay.
And that's what they've been using the last couple of years, and I like them. I just wish that they had a different helmet color to go with it, with the all green and yellow. But I'm not a fan of the Acme blue and gold and leather faux pants and leather faux helmet. Sure. Those just kind of look terrible. But there's some really good options out there. So I am a big fan of the classic Green Bay color scheme, but there's always room to tweak just a little bit. So anyways, number two, Rob Demonski is my new nickname for Rob. The guy is a butthole.
I hate to cut you off in the middle of a heater there, son, but yeah, I think as far as the guy is a butthole. As far as the uniforms go, I never liked when they changed the uniforms, but eventually, because the Packers dominate in those uniforms, they wear them at home. The Packers don't lose at home. I just now associate them with dominance. You just assume it's probably what? October 10th. It's sunny day in Lambeau Field. It's a noon game. And the Packers are just going to beat the ever-loving crap out of somebody. So they've all grown on me, and now that we've been doing this for so many years, it doesn't really bother me as much. As far as, what the heck are we doing? Like, these are not Packers things. I understand things change, whatever. But, again, my thought is, if you want to screw around for a couple weeks, whatever. But the official Packers jersey is this. With minor tweaks. Obviously, that's evolved over the years and whatnot. But, if you're going to do something crazy, just don't tell me this is what we're doing from now on, I guess, is what I'm saying. I don't really care if you want to play around. Back to Demon Ski the Butthole.
And we all know it. And I'm glad that LaFleur is calling them out on it. So,
I'm sure it was like, just joking around, like buddy stuff, but at the same time, it is what it is. It's like, wow, that's awfully sensitive of you to say. You obviously don't have very thick skin and you got to toughen up a little bit. Even if you're joking, it's like when you're joking with your buddy, but you're absolutely serious. Like, I haven't seen a guy in a while and it's like, dang, dude, you're getting fat. What are you doing? Have you been off this couch since I seen you last? What's going on here? Like, I'm just joking with you, but you are. You're fat and you should do something about it. That's just... It's both.
Handle the heat in the kitchen. Get out, Rob. Get out. Number 3, we all know that, with Hall of Fame game, there's really no substance to any of that stuff. But, injuries aside, it just basically is unwatchable. The preseason games, yeah, we get to see some of our guys that have been drafted, see what they can do and stuff, but for the most part, it just doesn't have a lot of substance. So we can't really get too excited about it other than we've been starving for so long. It's like going without eating for 2 days and then someone putting a McDonald's meal in front of you and, gobble it right up.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just kind of the state that we're in. We're just starving for any football. So I guess we'll get excited about it. So, but, I don't know. We are in the training camp stage, and I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. It's been a long, hot summer. I don't want to hear how these guys get to practice for just a couple hours, and I know that it's strenuous, but being a mailman, I know some of the other listeners are too. When you have to work 10 hours out in the heat, and the heat index is 120.
Continuing, I think.
Man, the 3-minute monster got me. To finish my thought, when playing in the heat, I'm the old school player who, back in the 80s, we had 2-a-day practices, and sometimes we even had 3-a-day practices. In the same kind of heat down here, in the humidity, full pads, and our coaches wouldn't even let us have a drink until we got plays correct. So they denied us water. We practiced more than once. And, it was full-on tackle. There was none of this touch stuff. And, we didn't have any guy pass out. We didn't have any guy, we probably were all dehydrated. But, we survived. And it's just, these athletes, I know they got to protect them. I totally get it. Guys have died out there. They just, easy times create soft men, hard times create hard men. So, put them through the grinder a little bit, toughen these guys up, get them ready for Brazil. That's all I can say. I'm out.
Yeah, they've invested a lot of resources into making sure that these guys aren't overworked. Look, I understand kind of what you're talking about, but certainly the body has limits, and kind of like when you look at Christian Watson, the amount of strain that they put on their body is significantly higher than I ever have in my entire life. It's pretty wild what the NFL and the NFL caliber people are able to do. And I feel like with some of these guys, as they get bigger and faster and stronger, yes, all your muscles and everything are working better, but I feel like there's certain parts of the car, there's certain parts of your body that maybe can't quite get, like, they're just never going to keep up. Like, if you're a 320-pound offensive lineman that can really move, that's great. But I don't really know that your joints and ligaments and everything were built to handle that and the punishing damage that gets put on them. So point being, I think that there's additional strain put on NFL athletes. I could be wrong, but I was just outside. I'm just grilling out there, and I'm basically pouring sweat because although it's like 85 degrees, the humidity makes the temperature, the real field temperature or whatever is 100 degrees outside. It sucks out there. So look, I mean, this stuff it's important, but at the same time, it's more important that you stay healthy, and rather than running them ragged and causing them to get dehydrated and then rip their hamstrings, just ripping those things in half. Let's just make sure we're monitoring everything and everything's going well. Once again, I recorded 3 calls and responded to all of them, and none of that got recorded, so let's do it all over again. Here's Garrett number 3.
And a really quick side note, if Big V wants to record the practices, I think he needs to take a page out of Dwight Schrute's spy handbook. Give Matt LaFleur a duck with a hidden walkie-talkie in it, but at the same time, put the spy pin on his desk. So if he wants to do that, I say he gets some glasses with the little lenses in them to record, and do his best. But if the Green Bay really wants to deter people from videotaping, I say the punishment should be you make them Rayshon Gary's personal tackle dummy. So just march them out to the field, make them stand out there, and have a coach hold them up, and let Rayshon go at them. That might solve that problem.
Yeah, my only concern would be, are we going to cause more harm than good? Because I'd be tempted to sign up for that, I know it would suck, but it just feels like one of those things. It's like when you're a kid and you're kind of scared to ride a roller coaster and you need to man up and do it, but you're scared. That's what it would feel like. That's like the grown adult man version of that. Like, come on, dude, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to let Rashawn Gary just, beat the crap out of you with strap you up like a dummy and just hit you real hard. Just need to man up and do it. I don't know. Just a thought. I like it, though. I'm down for it. I'm sure Rashawn Gary would also appreciate it, to be completely honest. Corey, what's going on?
Hey, Ryan, Corey from Ohio. Ain't called in a while. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Just wanted to let you know I'm going to the Packers-Browns preseason game.
Fantastic.
Next weekend in Cleveland, and I'm going to make sure I pay attention, keep my eyes, people, take some videos and shit. So if you have an email or somewhere I can send you videos, let me know, and I'll get some over to you.
Cut you off a little early there, sorry. So what I would say, assuming you're going to be, using your phone to take all the pictures and videos, just send them to this number. Just text it over here to this number would be the easiest way. Email and social media and whatnot, it's kind of all over the place. I'll probably find it, especially if it's on X or Twitter. Some of the other stuff I might be a little slower to get to, but I think this number probably be the best. So, speaking of, we do have a text here, and I'm not encouraging you to text in your questions because it's not a priority. But I told my friend Stenny here, if he wasn't super comfortable calling in, he could text a question. So he says, would you agree that the first half of the Packers season was being overlooked as a developmental stage with the quarterback wide receiver? It's always talked about how awful they were, but any one of those games, you could already see their flashes. I don't think Jordan had a feel, for the speed of the game until the Rams game, it seemed. So I would say yes for the most part, and I think that's been kind of talked about from some people, that it's a little bit more nuanced than to just say it was bad, because bad is just bad. First of all, it's something that's always consistently bad, and that certainly wasn't the case. And then there's also a version of bad that doesn't show so many high notes as what the Packers had. So there was reason to be somewhat encouraged, I guess I would say. I think you could still fairly call it bad, though, because I think you can have flashes and still be bad, and I think the evidence of that is the guy that I've made fun of more than anybody, talked about more than anybody that's not on the Packers, and that's Justin Fields. I mean, the guy was incredible, highlights out the wazoo, everything, but there was so much inconsistency, and there was so much bad mixed in with the very good that, man, I don't know what my problem is. I just had some steak, and I guess it's weighing a little heavy on me. The heck was I saying? Now I'm out of it. That you can still be bad, is I guess what I'm saying. All right, why don't we go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll get to Randy from Minnesota. U.S. Cellular has noticed the way we use our phones has gotten ironic. We try to put our phones down for dinner, but the menu's on a QR code. That's ironic. We hit like on social posts that we don't actually like, which is ironic. Which is why U.S. Cellular created Us Mode, to help us reconnect with each other and use our phones less ironically. A phone company wanting people to use their phones less is ironic. Let's find us again with Us Mode from U.S. Cellular. Visit uscellular.com/built-for-us to get started.
Your NFL Sundays are about to get a whole lot more magical. When you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get the most live NFL games all in one place. And with Multiview, you can watch up to 4 games at once, so you can catch all the action right from the comfort of home. Watch every game every Sunday on NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up now at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Device and content restrictions apply. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Want to teach your kids financial literacy, but not sure where to start? Greenlight can help. With Greenlight, parents can keep an eye on kids' spending and saving, while kids and teens use a card of their own to build money confidence. As a parent, you can send instant money transfers, set up chores, automate allowance, and more. It's a convenient way to run your household, customized to your family's needs, and the easy way to raise financially smart kids. Get started with Greenlight today and get your first month free at greenlight.com/Spotify.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be.
Hi, Ryan. It's Randy in Minnesota.
What's up?
Listen on the pod, obviously, and you're talking about the different NFC North teams and how the issues they're having. How much of it is from a cultural standpoint that they're not used to being a good team?
Yeah.
They're not used to drafting and developing. It seems like they've all got new GMs and they're all going for the big shiny object. Whereas in Green Bay, we all know the story that Murphy wanted to see everybody's paperwork on the last few drafts, and that's how he decided, well, Goots was the one that knew what he was doing. And until you change that culture, you're going to continue to get what you've got in Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota.
Yeah.
They don't hold on long enough, or they're going after like I said earlier, the bright, shiny thing, just trying to tease the fans. Whereas, it took Green Bay a lot of years, half of my life, to learn how to be a good football team again. But once they got that culture back, they didn't let it go. Surely hope they don't ever let it go again. But you got to know how to be good, and it's a learned process, and they don't have it. So that's just my thought. Anyway, go Pack, go! Thank God the season's almost here. Bye.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to tell because it's a brand new thing, especially with the Lions. with them being good. Is this just who the Lions are? Like, I think we've learned a little bit of the Vikings, and I think the Vikings certainly become big talkers when they're winning. So that is a separate version of them, but they're just not big talkers when they're losing. But I don't know. Like, if the I guess the question is, if the Lions continue winning for a long time and they continue to be successful like they are they going to eventually chill out because this is what they do? They've already been doing it, or is this just who the Lions fans are and this is what they're always going to be? I don't know. Seems like each fan base kind of has a fingerprint, a DNA, and we'll have to see what becomes of it. Or maybe we won't. Like you said, some teams just can't stay up because they suck too much, and so we'll never really know. But let's hope, man. Fingers crossed that they start to decline a little bit. I've been predicting a few teams starting to decline. Many times that does not happen. I'm hoping it does for the Lions, especially, since if the Lions improve and if the Bears improve and the Vikings are building for the future, it's like, come on, man. You freaking need to calm down.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
Yo.
Hey, buddy. I was just thinking, this has been going through my brain for a couple days now. And maybe we've covered this subject because I'm a week behind still. But Pretty Ricky, the source, maybe it's someone's wife. Maybe she really is pretty. Maybe that's the thing. You keep calling her my man and things like that. It's a girl, man. I mean, that's what you got the inside info. Women can do this stuff. I mean, that's not a slight or anything on women. I love women, obviously, and men. I love everyone. Cats, dogs, the whole deal. But anyway, inside information because she's a spouse. Pretty Ricky. It was fun. That was fun. This will be fun. Later. Rico out.
Well, whoever Pretty Ricky is or was, apparently, I don't know if they're serious or not, they're planning on hanging it up. So I just found out about Pretty Ricky, who has broken a lot of NFL news. And I just saw yesterday or the day before or whatever, some kind of a post about, I don't know, making fun of, somebody posted something about Pretty Ricky's dead, yay, or something like that. And Pretty Ricky was just like, yeah, there's too much of this going on, I retire. So I don't know. I have no idea. More than likely, somebody is leaking information that really, really shouldn't be and was worried about getting caught and is like, I need to bail here. If they are actually bailing, I don't really know. But very weird situation, whoever that was. Hopefully we can find somebody else that is leaking information.
Hey, Ryan, Daniel from California.
Hey.
With the whole TJ Slayton thing, I just remember last season, right? Because we know how the previous defensive scheme operated, right? You're two-gapping or gap-and-a-halfing, the way Brandon Staley kind of set it up, right? They're carrying over some of those principles where you're not doing the full two-gapping, It's a stupid system, but it's basically two-gapping, right? And you've seen probably maybe 10 reps, maybe 8 to 10, where all of a sudden last year you just see Slayton penetrate and he's in the backfield, even though everything else around him is like not. It's kind of he's on the wrong side of the play, but he's diving through, right? So he has that get off ability. It's just the rest of the scheme is not operating the same way where they're trying to penetrate. They're trying to hold the line. So when you have that difference in scheme, right? It doesn't. Sometimes it disrupts the play. Sometimes it hurts the play because it creates bigger holes down in the back. And you have two linebackers, so they're trying to fit, the smaller gaps. That's why you do two gapping. When you have these giant gaping holes and only two straight players, it doesn't work that good, right? That's why you're typically two gapping in a 3-4, and then you're penetrating in a 4-3. Well, you've seen him do it plenty of times, and I'm pretty sure it's an accident where he was being singled, he thought he was being doubled, and he was just penetrating through, but. There's evidence he's an explosive player at his size, and Because I clearly remember at least 8 to 10 reps where this guy's just flying through. He's not making a play because the play's either going the other way. But if everybody's doing the same thing when they're trying to penetrate, it'll actually work because you're living a yard behind the line of scrimmage instead of maintaining the line of scrimmage. You're trying to be disruptive, and if everybody's attempting to do the same thing, and you got more straight players, even if we're in nickel, we still have the box safety or the nickel corner kind of in the box, right? I know Nixon's small, but it works out better if everybody's operating the same way, right? So I think Slayton actually can be an explosive player, especially in the run, operating this way, because it seems like that's his skill set. So I don't know. Let's see. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, I mean, I still remain massively skeptical. I don't know that. I mean, again, he did grade out as a better pass rusher than run defender, which I saw as a massive negative for him. We'll see about that. But even that, the statistics really were not great as far as his pass rush ability. Now, again, it's a scheme change and everything, so we'll see. But I'm kind of hesitant on that as much as I am with the A.J. Dillon bounce back here and everything else. At least we're hearing something with Slayton as opposed to like he's got a six-pack. But no, it's I don't know. We'll see. If you bet me, again, take $1,000 out of my bank account, put it on the table, say if you want this back, tell me, is he going to be a good football player? Are you going to see an explosive pass rusher on this team out of TJ Slayton in this new defensive system? I would pretty comfortably say no, but we'll see. Maybe I'm just being a hater. I don't know. Who knows? Drinking the haterade.
What's up? This is Carson Caldwell from Cleveland, Ohio. And I got a few things that I want to say. Starting off is I just saw the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and it was pretty good. So I recommend watching it. Yeah, that's besides the point. Another thing is that I was looking back on old training camps because I was trying to see like if it actually correlated to the regular season. Like I was just kind of curious about like if the things that happened in training camp ended up happening in the regular season as well. And one of the things I saw from last year's training camp that I thought was really interesting that I completely forgot about, and it was that Luke Musgrave actually got like a handful of jet sweeps last year, like in training camp, like during the drives they would like hand him jet sweeps. And so I know he got hurt halfway through last season and we didn't see it during last season, but it would be so crazy if like this year we kind of unleash that and we get some Luke Musgrave jet sweeps, and then we could put in some Luke Musgrave jet sweep and then a reverse to Jaden Reed where he pitches it to Jaden Reed and takes it the other way. But that would be like just really cool if that ended up happening.
And he passes it to Watson.
Yeah, I guess that's all I got to say. I'm going to be at Green Bay the 13th and 14th at training camp, so I'm excited for that. If you do a stream, I'll hop on and talk a little bit about what's going on. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Go Pack, go, and peace.
Sounds good, yeah, and I'll try to keep an eye out for Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think it's available anywhere outside of theaters right now. I could be wrong about that. Not really seeing anything pull up here. I've never seen Deadpool. My issue with Deadpool, and I don't know this, but I get the impression it has sort of a what is that? Galaxy universe, something of the universe thing, whatever it is, where it's got like a little bit of a comedic tone to it. I don't care for those so much. If I'm going to do a superhero movie, it needs to be like kind of a serious superhero-y thing, not like funny. Isn't the guy that plays that, I mean, isn't he a comedian? What's his name? I can see his face. I don't remember his name. I don't know. I don't generally get into it. Wolverine, I remember watching way back in the day, the original Hugh Jackman, like the first one. I don't know. That was a long time ago that movie came out. And I liked it, but I don't know. I'll give it a shot. I'll check out the trailer. And if it seems like they're trying to be funny, I don't know if I'm going to do it, because I can't handle that. But I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just it doesn't fit for me. Not to say you can't drop kind of a funny line once in a while, but I don't know why it annoys me. It just annoys me. I can't do it. Guardians of the Galaxy. I think maybe because detracts from the realism for me, where they're just like, there's no fear. They're just joking around as like bullets or lasers or whatever are flying. And yeah, you owe me $5. Pew pew pew. Like, all right, dude, whatever. I'm gonna go do something else. That's stupid. Speaking of movies, though, what I did watch yesterday, on the advice of YouTube, let me see what it was called. Lake Mungo. Somebody on YouTube put together like the scariest movies or whatever. It doesn't fall under the category of being like terrifying to me. I didn't find it super scary. I did like the movie though. I think my biggest thing with horror movies right now is they're all just completely repackaged. I feel like nobody has an original idea of how to scare people. And like since the 90s or 80s or whatever, it's the same stuff. It's not to say you can't still make a good scary movie, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's hard to get creative with new scary things. I thought this was pretty decent the way that they did this. I thought the acting was very good. It's the other issue I have with a lot of horror movies I've just given up on because the acting is so atrocious. I'm like, I can't do this. This is so stupid. But if you haven't seen it, I thought it was good. I thought it was a decent movie. Don't come in with too high of expectations. That way, if you're like the guy on YouTube, you'll be shocked at how scary it is. If you're like me, it had some moments, but overall, just a good movie. It's a whole lot of like, I can't tell what's going on, You kind of think and then they keep changing it and they keep moving. Like, so what is it? Like, what the heck is going on? And even by the end of it, you're kind of like, I don't think I fully like. There was some kind of M. Night Shyamalan twist going on here, but I don't fully understand it. So I don't know, but yeah, it's a good movie. You should check it out. 95% Rotten Tomatoes, 6.3 out of 10 out of IMDb. Not entirely sure what that means, but pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back with Uncle Rico again.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. We've got everything from cleats to Sambas, dunks, and more. Plus, the hottest looks from Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. Find your first day fits in-store or online at Dicks.com.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the Vehicle Owner's Manual for important feature limitations and information.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico.
What's up, man?
Hey, buddy. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to call in. I didn't call in before because I was a little angry. I get angry, when Jordan wasn't signed, and I'm, thinking, yes, like you were just talking. I was listening to the pod, like the day before he signed, and you're talking about people are mad at both sides, whatever. Yeah, I was kind of cranky with him for not being out there. And, because the bottom line to me is he's under contract. He has a contract. Not the contract he wants, but he had a contract. Does he think he's worth more money? Everybody thinks they're worth more money. Mm-hmm. Clearly he's worth more than his contract said, but still, he was under contract to play for the Packers for another year. And that's the frustrating part for me. If I'm in management, I'm like, I don't know. I think Goody maybe is like me, or I don't know. You're not coming out there to play. Guess what? You just lost $1 million out of your contract because you're not the guy I thought you were, maybe. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter now. He's signed. I'm happy. He's happy. Everybody's happy. I'm looking forward to the upcoming podcast to see what you have to say. about his contract. I think it's fine. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't know why everybody thinks they need to be the highest paid player. You know, it's like a status thing. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Like, you're going to notice $1 million less in your bank account when you got that many $1 million in there. That's a lot of millions. But so, done with that. Jordan is in. Pack is rolling. Go, Pack, go. Love y'all, Pack fans.
Okay.
Out. Rico out.
All right. Yeah, my mind is on foreign policy, so I'll use a foreign policy example. Like I said, I've been kind of interested in it, even just from a geographical standpoint. Like, there's tracking what's going on in Myanmar or Burma, whichever. I don't know which one you use. I don't know what side I'm on with that. I feel like you're supposed to be on the Myanmar side, but it's like, I don't know. I think Burma makes more sense. But yeah, there's a big thing over there. Anyways, so as far as the Jordan Love contract, I get what you're saying, but I also feel like you're trying to. I think people like you and I'm just gonna guess that we're similar in this way. From a foreign policy standpoint, let's say somebody did something to us. Our response would be, I'm going to hit you back 10 times harder so that you know never to freaking mess with me again. And then just assume and hope that everything's fine. I do think that sometimes, although that might work, a lot of times that's not going to be the best option and it's going to cause more problems. And so there's a kind of a balance between drawing hard lines and some diplomacy. And so that's true with, Gutekunst and Jordan's agent and all that stuff, where on one hand you want to play tough, but you don't want to overplay your hand and really get screwed. And so, I think holdouts and things like that, especially since it's really not Jordan. I mean, it is Jordan's decision, but it's at the advice of his agents, and it's understood that you kind of let your agents make decisions for you. That's why you hire them, because you trust them to do what's right. And if they advise you to not participate, then you should listen to them. And if you're not going to listen to your agents, then you should probably fire them and find new agents. So yeah, he could have played some serious hardball. I think that really loses a lot of goodwill with Jordan. I think it loses a lot of goodwill with the people in the locker room. I think the fan base is going to be pissed about it. I think the national media is going to be pissed about it. And at the end of the day, you're obviously not going to save very much money. And and then you got a quarterback who's thinking, okay, so you think I'm not the guy. Yeah, I'm just saying. I feel like that's sort of a don't overplay your hand thing. This is kind of business as usual. He is showing up and going to meetings. His agent doesn't want him playing. I kind of understand it. Whatever. Let's just get this thing figured out and move on. So, I feel like that's one of those areas where dropping a nuke on that is going to be more problematic than maybe otherwise.
Is Uncle Rita? And I forgot something. I forget everything. And part of my thinking was when Jordan wasn't signed up, first of all, like I said, he's under contract. You have a contract. Let's play football. The other thing I was thinking is that, dude, we already paid you millions of dollars to do absolutely nothing for a few years there. I mean, for you to learn. It's like if I was going to go to college and they paid me. And when I got out of college, I'm going to get a $220 million contract, or whatever the hell it is. But while I'm in college, you're going to pay me $5 million or whatever. I don't even know how much money he made. But he made a shoot load of money learning. So, it's frustrating for me. And I do think it's kind of a greed thing and it upsets me. But I'm over it. George's my guy. Let's roll.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can call it a greed thing if you want. I think most people want to get paid what they're worth. I mean, if we were so fortunate as to have agents when we got new jobs negotiating, the best possible salary, I'm sure we would participate in that. I just think it's a normal course of action. I know it's frustrating to have a quarterback not participate for a very brief period of time as it was, which we were fortunate about, but I think getting the highest amount, it's not even necessarily the highest amount. I want to be the highest in the NFL. The highest amount that you're worth is, I think, what everybody wants. And, again, you can call it greed, but I don't know too many people that would not do that, right? It's like if somebody just asked you the question, would you like to have 25 million or 20 million? What do you mean? Would you rather have 25 million or 20 million? What's the difference though? Like what do I have to work harder? Do I have to no, like just what do you want? Like, well, of course I want 25 million. What are you talking about? And the teams are going to play hardball too. I mean, it goes both ways. We've talked about it. I mean, listen, Jordan has the leverage now because he's the young, super talented guy, and the team knows that, and that's why they have to pay a bunch. And then when the guys get older, that's when the teams have leverage, and that's when these guys get cast to the side, and then they get all pissy, and we're supposed to feel bad for the players and everything else. It's just like the Bakhtiari situation or the Jordy situation or whatever person you felt was the most heart-wrenching. Those guys have absolutely stuck it to the team. And I shouldn't even phrase it that way. The team doesn't view it that way either. It's just about value. And the Packers paid Jordan what he's worth, and Jordan got what he's worth, and everything worked out. It's just a complicated negotiation trying to figure out what to do. I don't think it's like the Packers are like, we don't want to give him more than 40, and it's like, well, then he's not playing. And he just just massively screwed him out of a bunch of money. Packers wouldn't pay him that if they didn't feel he was worth that. So it doesn't bother me as much. I mean, there might be certain situations that could be annoying and certain ways to handle yourself and conduct yourself. I personally don't fault Jordan for it. I mean, he had the option to disregard what his agent said, but I mean, I can't be mad at him for making a decision that I probably would have made myself, especially since he, went the extra mile in demonstrating that, it's not about ill will. A lot of these guys are very cold about it. They, no contact, don't show up to the organization, don't call me till you pay me kind of thing. Which, I understand that that's even another form of leverage, but to have Jordan kind of be like, look, this isn't the way I want it to be. I want to be out there with my guys. Like, you guys need to figure this out. I don't know. Didn't bother me all that much, that's for sure.
Hey, Ryan, this is Aaron. I just got done with my first ever training camp practice. It was quite interesting. I got a lot of pictures. I shook A.J. Dillon's hand, met Larry McCarron. But it was kind of awkward because both Larry McCarron and I were both like really hot because it was really hot outside.
Uh-huh.
So we just wanted to get out of the heat, but I kind of stopped him, and it was very clear that we were both just like, can we just not be in the heat? Let's get to the AC. So it was cool to meet Larry. Got a picture with him.
Cool.
But practice looked pretty good. I was kind of too busy taking pictures, so I didn't really see a lot of what happened, and I didn't tweet, like I said, in all office gifts. But maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I think I'm just going to leave my camera back in the car. And, but it was pretty cool to see everyone. Some of the guys are really big. I didn't know if you know this, but Caleb Jones is a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
It was really fun because Stokes was like, thing with the crowd, he was kind of like kept waving at everyone, didn't ever come up to us. But man, I'm driving slow right now because I'm talking on the phone. People are probably going crazy. Like, who's this guy? No. Anyways, it's pretty fun. It was a good first time. There's some pretty cool plays. Jordan Love looked really good. I did see him get picked off once by Xavier McKinney, but I mean, anyways, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Maybe I'll have better information and a better call tomorrow when I've actually kind of watched the practice. I wasn't kind of prepared for the heat because it was pretty bad. I met a few people, so I guess that's one thing. Anyways, I'm going to get going. Heading up to Door County to go get some cherry salsa. Then heading back to Green Bay for the night and going back to practice tomorrow. But cherry salsa was pretty dang good. Not gonna lie, I got it up here last time I was out in Door County in this way. And I'm going back for more. Anyways, well, have a good one.
Stokes seems like a pretty cool guy. He seems like a fun guy, pretty laid back. I bet he'd be pretty good with the crowd and with fans and everything. I'm glad you had fun. Having fun, I suppose. I think you're probably done by now. I don't know how long you're planning on staying. But, yeah, man, I'm glad you had a good time. Glad that a lot of the listeners are going to be going out there, so we get a lot of the inside scoop. A lot of them still coming up, either going to training camp or going to the preseason. We've already heard a couple today. Just call in and talk about that. So keep those pictures coming. Like I said, you can text this number. You can send any pictures, any updates, any whatever you want. Just let me know, and we'll go that route. But otherwise, I think I'm gonna call it. Need a little steak nap, and then I'm gonna come down and do this Packers Family Night live stream if I can find the Packers Family Night thing. I'm not able to find it, but anyways, you guys have a good rest of your night. I'll talk to you later, or day. Bye. See ya.